may begin.
When I was really little, I thought I could fly. Later I learned the hard way that I couldn't, and consequently almost broke my arm. Then I found out that there was actually a career where you could fly. I started thinking about being a pilot when I was pretty young because my dad is also a pilot, so I got to see a little deeper into the world of aviation. So when the career came along, it wasn't that hard for me to decide what to do. When most people think of a pilot, they think of somebody who flies people around on business trips or vacations, but in reality, pilots do a lot more than that. There are a lot of different types of pilots. Airline, which you're probably most familiar with. Corporate, cargo, charter, ferry, military, medical, and a lot more. I chose to be a corporate pilot. A corporate pilot is a pilot who's certified in a lot of different types of business aircraft. So for example, I could be a ferry pilot, a charter pilot, medical, and cargo, and still be called a corporate pilot. My second career choice was to be a graphic designer, so I could use my creativity and organization skills on a daily basis. My third option was to be a middle school teacher. I think that would be a good job because I would get to work with and teach kids. An opportunity cost is the highest valued alternative that you have to give up to get your first choice. My opportunity cost was to be a graphic designer. I chose to be a pilot instead because I could get to travel and I could get to fly planes. Some positive incentives for being a pilot are that you get to travel, you get to become part of the minority that knows how to fly, and it makes you smarter. Flying really does make you smarter. If you become a pilot, you have to practice being a good planner, logical decision maker, and a resource manager on a daily basis. Along with that, you become better at solving math quickly in your head. Also, you get to travel more. No matter what you do as a pilot, you get to travel more than basically any other job. And no matter, being a pilot means transporting goods or people to different places all over the world, so of course you get to go. One more thing that would make this job even more appealing is that I would become part of the minority that knows how to fly. Only about 0.2% of the world's population knows how to fly or has a pilot's license, and even fewer are female pilots. Being a pilot has some negative incentives too. Pilots always need to be available and flexible, and sometimes, as a pilot, when you thought you had free time, it turns out that you have to go on a trip. And your business trips can also last for weeks at a time. Well, that sounds fun to travel a lot. You miss out on a lot of time with your friends and family. Some of those trips that you otherwise never would have gotten to take might mean that you have to miss out on a reunion, a funeral, or a birthday. Also, you're completely at the mercy of mechanics and the weather. If there's a severe storm headed your way or towards your destination, you might have to call off the trip entirely or just postpone it. Also, if there's something even slightly wrong with your plane, you might be in danger, so you will not be able to make the trip until it's fixed. My annual salary is $55,000. My monthly paycheck is $4,580. On my budget and pie graph, I pay 8% for housing. I will be renting a 2-bedroom apartment and split the cost with a roommate. My transportation is also 8%. I'll be driving a car, and so I won't need to pay any money for public transportation, such as a subway or taxis or buses. Utilities such as gas and electric, city utilities, and my phone cost me 5%. My federal and state income tax, Social Security, and Medicare that all fit into the taxes section equaled 26%. Food cost me 7%. Food would be my regular grocery trips or any time I choose to eat out. Because of where I chose to work, my medical insurance is already paid for me. My school loans are 3%. I chose to go to Wichita State University and Huston College. My toiletries are 1%. Toiletries are all of my basic bathroom necessities. And toiletry, yeah. My discretionary, which is my biggest chunk, and maybe things that I want but don't necessarily need, add up to 43%. On my student and parent estimate, I guess that I would pay $200 on my federal income tax, when my parent estimate was $500. I guess $400 for my car insurance, and again, I was way off, as my parents' estimate was $50. My car payment was spot on, as we both got $300. My 3 trade-offs for this career would be that I have to give up having a newer car to put more money into savings. I would have to give up having a pet to put more money into charities, and I gave up having my own apartment to split the cost with a roommate. On my resume, the colleges that I went to were Huston College for my associates in business and aviation, and then on to Wichita State University for my bachelor's in business administration. The skills that I listed were organized, service-oriented, flexible, and good time manager, and working with people. My experiences were working as a line service technician at Executive Airshare in Wichita, Kansas, and working as a waitress at Water's Edge in Heston, Kansas. Cora Brennan and Tyler Kaufman were my bosses at these places, and also the references that I listed. On my letter of application, it was addressed to Amanda Corner, the chief pilot at Eagle Med Air Ambulance. Eagle Med Air Ambulance is a job where if somebody needs to get to a hospital fast and far away, Eagle Med would fly them there. My first website helped me learn more about a college that I decided to go to. My second website told me more about the place that I was applying to work for. The third told me about my job opportunities for the people in my field of work. Fourth helped me understand more about my career and the things that I'd be doing. And the fifth gave me college opportunities for the degrees that I'd need to become a corporate pilot. I found some articles online. The first was titled Position Description, and basically tells what a pilot earns and what a pilot does and the different types of pilots there are. The other one, labeled Working Conditions, tells about what would happen in the life of a pilot. As you can see, being a pilot can be a very interesting job, and there are many different opportunities for this career. It'll be interesting to see what kind of opportunities it presents for me.